Simon, the battle for European places goes to the final day. Manchester United beat Newcastle, Chelsea leapfrog, both of them with victory at Brighton. So what have we got? In 6th place, Chelsea on 60 points. 7th place, Newcastle, 57. 8th place, Manchester United on 57 points.
Yeah.
One of them will miss out.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to reshaping squads this summer, who would be least impacted by having no European football next season, do you think? Chelsea, Newcastle, United?
Well, you'd think that Chelsea, given they might have some financial fair play concerns about competing in Europe, might not want to be there.
Yeah.
But not so much a basket case now, Chelsea, are they? Obviously, people were writing Chelsea off and they were a basket case. Now they're likely to finish 6th. They were very, very unlucky not to get to an FA Cup final and quite unlucky to have lost a League Cup final. Not quite the basket case that people have made them out to be. I don't know who's
going to hear from Bully shortly.
I'm not sure. You know, if you get an opportunity to compete in European competitions, you want to be there. And obviously, it gives you an opportunity to get more finances in certain competitions, and it gives you an opportunity to equip your squad better.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that question, Jim. Who is going to actually struggle worse by being in there or not being in there? I think all of the clubs. I mean, all of them will be able to redeem themselves by being in this or get some form of redemption. If Chelsea come out 6th and get into the Europa League, A, it's going to bring some economic returns that they need to help them with some of their governance issues. B, it's going to get them into an opportunity to maybe win a European competition that is really quite a significant one. It's the second European competition. You win the Europa League, people take that seriously. And it starts a different narrative.
Right.
United, Newcastle, again, for different reasons. People are looking at Newcastle going, hang on, you finished 4th last year. This is terrible regression. So everyone has an underlying narrative that could be hugely beneficial.
Well, that's right. At Old Trafford last night, Newcastle went there. I thought they'd win 3-2. They lost 3-2 to Manchester United. Eddie Howe spoke post-match about the importance of achieving European football next season.
It's vital for us. We're giving everything we can to do it. All we can do is try and win the games in front of us. And now we have Brentford, which is difficult. But we'll go there and try and learn the lessons from today and try and put it right.
Do you know, Simon, in his first full season, Newcastle finished 4th.
Yeah.
In Eddie's second full season, they're going to finish between 7th and 8th. Progression versus regression. If the second season finish was the first and vice versa, then people would be sitting up and taking notice of Newcastle. But they've gone back the way a bit. Did you expect that this season? Because I didn't.
Yeah, I did. Because I thought it was a remarkable standard that they set for themselves and was going to be very difficult to maintain.
Yeah, but I thought they'd reach the heights, I must admit.
Well, they had and they hadn't. Obviously, their performances last year were so commendable to have gotten inside the top 4. They were a thrilling side to watch.
True.
They were a side that I enjoyed. They were one of the first sides, I think, in recent times that decided Man City were there to have a go at. Not to be intimidated by. And I think you remember at the beginning of last season, they drew 3-3 with Manchester City, and it was a game. And Newcastle went toe-to-toe with them. And I really quite liked that. So that's why a lot of people became very switched on to Newcastle. I think you take each season in isolation. You say they did remarkably well last year. They shouldn't be victims of their own success. I think Eddie Howe has earned the right to have another turn of the wheel if anyone's talking about a failure this season. If Newcastle finished 7th, I think they've done okay.
Yeah.
Not by the standards they've set themselves, but they've done okay based upon wage bill, where they are in the evolution curve in terms of a new ownership model, and what Eddie Howe's been able to achieve. 20 months ago, they were trying to avoid relegation. They've now performed in a Champions League. They were remarkably unlucky not to have qualified for that Champions League group.
I agree with you.
And I think they're a better operation as a result. They've got good people in there. They've got a good CEO in Darren Eales. The manager's doing okay. Do I think he leads them to the promised land? No, I don't. Do I think he will still be what I've always said, which is part of this journey that Newcastle are going to go on and an integral part of it? But I don't think he'll lead them to the promised land.
And you've always stuck to that.
And it's not. And be clear, it's not because I'm criticising Eddie. It's not because I'm discrediting him. It's because I've got an objective view of surely what Newcastle's ownership model wants, which is to win. Well, they've said it.
Oh, they want to win. They want to win the lot.
And to do that, I think they're going to need a slightly better manager capable of winning things rather than a manager that's capable of getting you close to it. And Chelsea, I think, will be the same.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.